Okay, so in Formula Student there are quite a lot of documents. I give here a short overview. We have the SCS, the Structural Equivalency Spreadsheet. We have the SE3D, which is the 3D model, which is accommodating the SCS. We have the EAD, which is for impact attenuated data. These three documents are for all vehicles, regardless of the powertrain. And then we have some documents which are special case for the different powertrain designs. So for electric cars, we have the electrical system form, the ESF. We have now the accumulator SCS, which is now a separate document. It is not found in the overall SCS anymore. For hybrid cars, we have the hybrid system safety form. And for the hydrogen cars, H2, we have the hydrogen safety form. Generally speaking, why are we bothering you with so many documents? The problem is there are many rules, and it's just impossible to check everything at the scrutineering at the event. Yeah. So many of the rules we are checking through the document review process, and of course you spend a lot of time preparing the documents. But we as organizers, as event officials, we are also spending a lot of time reviewing these documents. And I know it can be frustrating sometimes because it takes a lot of time to get the review after the deadline. But you have to keep in mind that for all of Europe, all this work is done by volunteers. So most of us have full-time employment, and we're doing this in our free time. And you can imagine it's not always the most thrilling experience to go through the 50th SCS document in your free time. So yeah, sometimes it takes another deadline to approach. In our case, the deadline is our events. So by that time, we have to look at it. And this is why sometimes it takes a bit longer. Sorry about that. Of course, we want to make sure also that we try to catch bad design choices from the teams, so that we do not end up with bad awakenings at the event where we have to say, okay, you made a bad design choice, you cannot use it, you cannot drive. We try to prevent this and make sure we find it out earlier in the process. Yeah, and we don't ask you for the documents just to get on your nerves. It's really about just making sure that every car is safe and that the process is possible even. The SES, Structural Equivalency Spreadsheet, there has been a question about it, why it is not the same for everything, for every competition. I have to disagree, it is the same for all of Europe. We use the same document template for every competition which has the FS rules. Of course, I cannot speak for competitions which use other rules, but within mainland Europe, I would say, which at this case has to exclude Italy, but every competition within mainland Europe which uses the FS rules uses the same SCS template, and we are all organized in one group to review these documents. So we are in one big review group. The same is true also for the ESF document and the ESF review. And it is also true for hybrid documents and hydrogen documents. So we are connected within Europe. We try to keep the process very much on the same level for all of Europe. And I'm sorry if you didn't feel this way. Please let us know of any details where you don't think this is the case. I don't want to say anything more about the SCS because my colleagues from FSG basically already said anything which is relevant for it. I've put you into the slides here the link to the FSG Academy slides. Of course, these slides will be available online in the next few days. Yeah. With regards to impact attenuated datasheet, many teams use the standard impact attenuated datasheet, but some teams are still using alternative designs. We're starting a Slido poll right now. checking out if maybe this can be even more streamlined. Because I personally believe that the weight savings which are still possible with regards to alternative designs are very minimal. But maybe teams are just interested in the process and they want to watch their own designs being crushed in the crash test, and they think that is interesting, I don't know. So this is why we have a Slido poll. Anyway, we are working to streamlining this EAD document process, especially because we think that the standard design could be very, the document process for the standard design could be streamlined. Now for the ESF.
Yep. I will take over. Okay. So about the ESF. So as Hockey already said, it's not about going you on the nerves to punish you or something like this. It's to help teams. Basically, as Hockey said, it's the same for the SES and the ESF. There are some stuff that's really hard to repair on the event side in 1 week. The goal of the ESF is that you get a feedback a few weeks before the event, that you can order new parts, you can fix something. Lower the risk that the teams have to fix the things at the event. But this is also a past ESF does not mean that you will pass scrutineering. There are always stuff that is not controlled in the ESF that will be shown at the scrutineering, and it also can happen that something was clearly in the ESF stated, was passed in the ESF, as it is at the scrutiny at the event said, okay, as it is done, there is a problem, and and this is the issue, and also you have passed exactly this solution in the ESF, it can be still a problem at the scrutineering. At the other hand, an open ESF point doesn't mean that you will fail at scrutineering. So I know that we have much less power to review all the ESF than we should have. So if some of you want to leave the team and want to join FSI or FS Alberta or FS3 or something else, we always need ESF reviewer. So a few ESF numbers. Last year we had 10 events in Europe that used the FS3 ESF tool. So when you uploaded ESF for one of these events, it was passed for all others too. So we had 196 ESF controlled from 169 teams. There are 9 forms per team, and we need between 50 and 30 minutes per ESF form to review. So let's say 20 minutes per form. This concludes to 500 hours of review time, and we are only about 20 reviewers. So about 25 hours per reviewer, but these are not students anymore. They are working guys, they have family and so on. So quite much time. So ESF do's and don'ts. In the ESF form, you have some fixed values. They are easy to review. They are normally you can go pass. That's fine. The problem or the difficult stuff are schematics and drawings and so on. At the schematics, you are allowed to upload PDFs, and you can do everything in the PDFs. Please don't put essays in these PDFs. A good schematic don't need a description because you see everything on the first side. Give good names to your inputs, to your internal variables. So name your wires. What is this wire doing? Is it low active, high active? So every minute, so the reviewer should have one look at your schematic and should know exactly what you are doing and if it's okay, if it's rules compliant or not. use the names that are given in the rules. So shutdown circuit, just write SC in, SC out, and yeah, everything is clear. When you have different boards and so more than one schematic through the whole car, you have different boards and you go with one signal to another board via the wiring loom. Use the name or similar, use the same name or similar name, so that I immediately understand, okay, this signal leaves the board now, enters the other board here, and it's the same signal, and I can have a better look, or a better overlook. Do not overload pages. Only one function per page. That's a basic rule. Now, most people learn this at university, or when you start designing your own PCBs. Paper isn't very expensive. Use much of them. And always current and signals flow from the top to the bottom and from left to right. That's also, it keeps it simple to understand what your schematic is doing. Yeah. And the ASCS, I think Kokio will take over again.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have now outsourced the accumulator. Sorry, now you can hear me. As already mentioned, we have now removed the accumulator part from the SCS. It is now a distinctive document. It's called the accumulator SCS or ASCS. Basically, it is the same as before. It covers the same topics as it has when it was still part of the big SCS. It's just a new structure. And we hope we will have specialists which focus on the A says and the accumulator says, and they don't have to deal with all the other parts of the SCS anymore, because until now you had to be a specialist for monocoque chassis, you had to be a specialist for tubular chassis and accumulators, and only if you had all knowledge in all three fields you have been able to review an SCS. So we try to streamline this. And with regards to the structure of the document, for example, you can see on the right, there is a reworked structure on how to implement data sheets. So it's basically, you have to first fill out what is shown in this data sheet. Does it show the mechanical properties and the fire rating properties which are relevant here? And then you insert a proper picture and not just give us basically a whole load of PDF pictures from data sheets, and we have to find the values that are interesting for us on our own. There is also a new structure on how to implement fasteners in your accumulator, which should also give you more help on how to implement it. And of course, it should help both sides. It should help you to understand what we want to see. And once it is properly in the document in a good structure, then it is faster for us to review it, which helps you as well in the end. Then we have two more documents which are specific to your powertrain. So we have the hybrid safety form. It's currently in a Word format, so a text document. We do not plan to make any big changes for 2025, so you can already use the 2024 template for reference and already start on filling it out. We want, by reviewing this document, we want to get a good overview of your system design choices. And if you have some very questionable design choices, we want to be able to give you feedback on it. This is why there is a document deadline for it in March, I think. And in the end, we hope that once we went through the review process, that you don't have any problems in the technical inspection with regards to your hybrid system. And the very same thing is true with regards to your hydrogen safety form. So this is of course going to be a new, completely new document corresponding to the new hydrogen class. But it is planned to be quite similar to the hybrid stuff. And again, the goal that we have with this document is to stop very bad design choices early in the process where it is still able to change them, and in the end that we have a smooth technical inspection. So this is it now with regards to documents. I think we have just 2 short questions. I think we can turn off the presentation. So we have open questions. Documents. So one open question is, the SCS is a very crucial and important document for the competitions. Why would it not be standardized? So yeah, I already tried to answer it. From my point of view, it is standardized. It is the same document template for all of continental Europe, which use the FS rules. We have a European review group, and it would be really appreciated if you have some clear feedback on that, to just write us what the problem is, because from this question I really cannot understand what you mean. And then the last question for the big round. Some things in the SCS are not mandated in the rules, nor are they clearly visible in the SCS itself. Basically, they are hidden in the background of the SCS formulas. This kind of stuff can only be found in academy slides. Why is that? I agree, it should not be like that. Generally speaking, we only try to enforce stuff in the SCS which has rules in it, and I am a big proponent of that. So in the past there have been some quite heated discussions about it, because some people from competitions which shall not be named tried to implement something in the SCS template which was not to be found in the FS rules, and that should not happen. I fully agree. So again, here, if you find examples of that, please let us know specifically what you mean, because generally speaking, there is like the rule, some laminated structure has to be equivalent to like a tube of this size, and of course there will be a lot of formulas in the background which prove that the stiffness is the same and the strength is the same, but the rule is very clear, and it should all be, yeah, clear, and it should not be inconsistent. So please, if you have specific examples, please let us know. Okay, with that we are now in the exit polling phase. So we have 2 small exit polls. I will also open it up, I think, here for the on-site. How do I go? Oh. Yes, here. So these are the 4 questions for the on-site participants, also shown here. So we make this kind of academy event in order to improve the communication and feedback process with you, the teams. So we want to give you information that otherwise we wouldn't be able to get to you, because of course the rules document, it has to be very short and precise and consistent. We cannot just write hundreds of pages of notes and pictures into the rules. But of course, also there is already a lot of existing tools. So for example, we have the FS Germany rules question tool. There is also a rules feedback tool. But also, of course, if there is something that you want to ask as one event specifically as FS Austria, you can write emails to us as well. I can see here that 2 things are quite clear. you're not really happy in the way it is, so you would like to see more interaction, direct interaction with us, like at this event. So this is, of course, a big thank you to you that this kind of event is appreciated, because of course it is also a lot of effort that goes into it. But I can also see that you would like to have improvement of already existing tools. So for example, I mentioned the FSG rules question tool. We are aware that currently, especially, the answering time is not really where it should be. FS Germany has set for themselves an answering time of 2 weeks for rules question. I'm aware that currently it is not meeting that requirement. And you can bet I'm doing all I can to improve that, but it's not always easy. Okay, so thank you very much. For the on-site participants, we have food and drinks outside. We can switch now, I think, to the overall grading of our event. How did you like the FS4A event? Don't worry, we will still have one more session for you, but I guess some of you will tune out, because the secondary stream will be tips for new teams, and also asterisk tips for teams which might not have the most resources. So my colleagues from RP Adria will continue in the secondary stream. Note, for the secondary stream there is a new link on the left. We had to change it because we messed up, but you can find the new link, it should work. And here in this room, in this primary stream, we will continue with some specific topics with regards to hydrogen, but I understand that many of your teams are not really focused on that, so you might tune out and grab a beer. And of course, for the on-site participants, we have also something to eat. So thank you very much. Thank you for participating, and hope you have a great evening. That was a very slow clap.
It wasn't the right topic, so.
Okay, so we make a very short break, and then I will be with you here with regards to hydrogen.